Hey everybody, it's Wahome from Wahome Gitonga Coaching. Hope you're all having an amazing Monday so far and you had a good weekend. Welcome to another episode of Business Conversation Interviews, where we interview the most successful people from across various industries, from coaches, business owners, entrepreneurs, doctors, lawyers, influencers, and a variety of other successful people. So today we have the pleasure of being able to interview Mariette Jensen. Now, Mariette Jensen she's a best-selling author of Victor to Victim book, and she specializes in helping people overcome self-esteem, narcissism, and overcoming traumas. Now, she's going to be with us tonight sharing her wisdom and key insights in terms of how to grow your self-esteem, in terms of how to overcome people who are narcissists, and also just understand, how to work around your victimhood and get out of that. So we're really lucky to have her with us tonight. Hey Ronan, hey Nirjan, hope I pronounced your names right. Good to see you guys, hope you're doing well. Just waiting for Mariette. And without further, let me add Mariette. Hey Kishore. Hey Mariette.
Hey, it works. It's the first time, so I was a bit like, oh, what's happening?
You're doing great.
Ah,
Hey everyone. So just we'll start off with the interview straight away. So tell
right.
us about yourself. What is your background and how did you decide to get into your business?
Well, I'm from the Netherlands, so that's my accent. Yeah, I'm from overseas. And I started my career as a nurse. That didn't work out for me. And then I got a PhD and started to work in a corporate environment until I came here over to the UK for a man, as you do. I was the woman who said, I'll never move for a man, but hey, I moved countries. And then I was in a corporate setting here and I didn't like it at all. It's just different cultures, I think. So when my first son was born, I didn't go back and I started to retrain as a therapist. And that was it. That was absolutely it for me. And then I evolved and now I'm working as a coach. I just published my book. So things are just happening and it's all in that area of supporting other people, I guess. Yeah.
So what was the idea behind your business? Like what was it that chose the topic you chose? And what was the reason behind
Really,
it?
no, I didn't start a business. When you're a therapist, it's very soft setting and it's talking about business. It's not, you couldn't even promote yourself. It was all a bit non-business like, really. And I built up my private clients. I was a teacher as well, a tutor at university and colleges, which I loved. And then based on the teaching, really, I discovered coaching and I thought that is much better for me. So with coaching comes a little bit more freedom. With coaching comes that idea like, yeah, I can promote myself. I can talk about myself. But I didn't, and only then I started to think about branding and how am I different from others. And, that's sort of the business elements, really. So that was only 2012. Well, still, 8 years ago. So I've been doing that. But the business evolved. So I just started off as Dr. De-Stress. And then started to create some workshops with that branding. I had a website. And then I think my business evolved with getting way more clarity of what I had to offer. Yeah.
And so what's been the biggest challenge you personally faced when you started out? And how did you manage to overcome that?
I think it was the marketing. It really was sort of, how do I stand out from somebody else? And how can I communicate it? And one of the things that attracts clients to me is the fact that I'm Dutch. I've got an accent. I'm not that I always I say that's what people who are avoiding an issue say often. It's like they're pissing around the pots. Yeah, Dutchies don't do that. They're straight in there, and that cultural differences attract people. Yeah, not everyone, but that's something really clear. That is like, yeah. So, and I can present that to the outside world now in my role as a coach. So the marketing, I spent a lot of time on marketing. I don't know how that is for you as a coach, but you've got all your live interviews, you're successful on Instagram, you're out there because you need to be seen and you need to show people what you have to offer. And if they like it, they will come to you and work with you.
Yeah, I definitely find that marketing is a big challenge, and it is about having lots of conversations and putting yourself out there. So yeah, it can be challenging, especially if you don't know where to start or how to properly get your message out.
Yeah, and it's in this day and age, it's really important because people are looking, and especially after or during the lockdown, everything went online. I saw clients online, but I could only see clients online then. So then people who were a little bit hesitant about it stepped over that. So the whole online development is massive now, I think. There are no geographical boundaries, is it? So show yourself on social media, like we are doing now, and you're working on it, yeah.
So what advice would you give someone who was thinking of creating a practice, like you have done, but they're too scared to make that first step?
Say again, what is it for the first step?
First step? They are thinking of starting a practice, but they're too scared to make the first step and actually doing it. So they're procrastinating.
Yeah. I would say prepare. Prepare yourself. Check things out. If you can afford it, get a coach because you don't. Lots of things are known to lots of people. If you start your business, there are lots of things you don't know yet. Why not use the knowledge and experience of someone else, and they will get you in the saddle and you're off. And what I absolutely would say to anyone, do not do it. If you want to do it and you don't because of fear, you'll regret it forever.
Yeah, I think you've highlighted 2 points there.
What I wanted to add is like there might be fear and there's uncertainty, and uncertainty is fearful, that evokes fear, but it's also excitement. It's massively exciting to just go for something. You've got no idea where you end up, but if you want to do it, do it. But the risk limitation, use other people's experience on that road. So get yourself a coach.
Yeah, I think you've highlighted a good point there, because I find a lot of business owners, they tend to not want to get a coach because it makes them look as if they don't know what they're doing, or they're too afraid to admit they don't know.
But people are funny, aren't they? I mean, we're not born with a big manual in our hands saying this and this and this is how life works and this is what you have to do. And we all build up our own experiences. And I think one of the really important things is for people is to acknowledge that you don't know everything. Why do you think you have to know everything? You go to a doctor because you don't know what the pain in your finger is about, and you haven't done medicine, and you can Google it, but still, it's good that there's an expert there to help you.
I totally agree. I think I remember Tony Robbins saying that everyone should have a coach. Because
everyone should have a coach. And not maybe even because you don't have to know everything yourself, but you have blind spots. You're in the middle of your little universe, and there will be things that are impossible to see from that position, and they might hold you back.
Yeah, that's totally true. So what's the most common reasons why people come for you for coaching or advice, and how can you help people?
Oh, this is my assistant. Oh God, Mol Jean, that's my assistant. She really is my assistant, and someone is just opening the front door, so that's why she's barking. But we just get on with it. Wait. To organize it. Yeah, done. She's very good. She's very good work ethic. Where were we? People come to me. People come to me with different stories. Yeah, it's a work issue. It's a relationship. It's not happy with themselves. It's maybe even some old stuff. But bottom line, underneath it, the issue is always, you can always bring it down to the relationship with themselves and the lack of self-awareness. So when people are suffering from that lack in confidence, those insecurities, that feeling stuck, that's all caused by not really knowing what they want, not really owning that, not stepping into their power. And why don't they do that? Because they don't know how to do that, because they don't know themselves. Therefore, they don't love themselves. Therefore, they don't accept themselves. And then they look to the outside world for positive feedback. That's called external locus of valuation. So that means what other people say is more important than what you say yourself. Yeah, but if you don't know what you say yourself, then you have to look to the outside world. You ask 3 people give you a different type of feedback. What do you choose? Where is the truth? It's your role to find your own truth and then stick to that. If you're depending on other people, then it's a source of insecurity, because you can never know what someone else is thinking, can you? So you're always waiting for them. If you can reverse that. So I work with my clients to really getting to know themselves, and also learning how they get in the way of their own happiness. Yeah, how they get in their own way by the choices they make or their lack of awareness. And once that picture is clear, they rocket, they take off, they launch, they're off. Yeah.
I think that's really true. Like, I think a lot of people, they do have a lack of understanding of who they are as a person and what it is they want, and they're full of blind spots. And I think that definitely ends up holding them back from achieving the results they want. So, yeah, I can definitely resonate in terms of why people come to you and how you help people.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so in a recent survey of 9,000 workers across various industries by UK Workplace, they found that 70% of women and 60% of men suffer from lack of confidence. In your opinion, why do you feel that so many people are lacking confidence in the workplace?
It's the same thing as that I mentioned. It's because they're not self-aware. They're looking for feedback from others, yeah, to feel good about what they are doing. That is just fueling their lack of confidence. Yeah, if you stand up in a meeting and you think, I actually don't care what others are saying. I'm convinced, I've done my research, I'm really cool. I know this is a really good proposal. And they know that because it comes from here, it comes from the inside. Yeah, they've really done that. And lots of people don't do that. They don't have that courage to do it, maybe.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it does come back to awareness and being able to have that self-belief in themselves. And I think often people compare themselves as well to other people, and that seems to get them down when they start comparing.
And also, Wahome, there's this idea of I need to be perfect. I do a proposal and it needs to be perfect. And if it's not perfect, then I'm all over the place. And it's not about that. It's about, if you are convinced that what you have to offer is good, that in itself is good enough. And then it might be the wrong time. It might be you've overlooked an element there. Yeah, whatever it is. It's fine. It doesn't matter. But also negative feedback is then taken as a personal attack because people are insecure in themselves. So anything that prods that is sort of like, ah. And you don't want to do that. You don't want to go to that place if you can't handle that place.
Yeah, I totally agree there. So what would you advise someone who came to you who was struggling with low self-esteem, looking to overcome this?
If they came to me,
Yeah.
oh, I would cuddle them. I would sit them down. I would say, you've come to the right place, and here we go. As I said, I would bring it back to that relationship with themselves. Get to know themselves. How many people do you know who are their own BFF, best friends forever? And why wouldn't you not be your BFF? You're the person in life who travels with you from the first moment till the last moment. Yeah, you're worthwhile to have that role, and it's working on that, and that's where the joy is. Well, it's the joy for me working with clients when they get there, yeah, and having that journey and seeing them emerging as who they really are, instead of hiding because maybe this is how I should be. Maybe I'm a bit scared. Maybe I'm, that sort of things. No, so I love when they come to me, and I start with a questionnaire, and that can be quite daunting, yeah. And again, that's the Dutch thing. The questionnaire cuts you down straight to the core. We're not gonna talk forever about things that have happened to them, stories. This is what you're going to work on. Now, that questionnaire is sort of, if people have a really high score, I can't say no. Oh no, I can't say no. I'm really critical of myself. Oh yeah. Oh God, I'm really critical. So there are all these sort of questions, and then the higher the scores are, the happier I am, because the earlier they will notice a really, really big change.
I like that.
It's interesting, yeah?
Yeah.
Talking about positive mindsets.
But that leads me on to the next question. So what would you advise someone who is looking to really, go about in terms of creating a supportive mindset that's going to help them to achieve their goals in life?
A mindset is work in progress. And the default position of the human brain is to be negative. Yeah, it's caveman stuff. A caveman is looking for danger all the time. If he doesn't see it and the bear is on top of his shoulder, it's too late. If he doesn't pay attention on how he carries wood and you get a splinter and that's an infection, they die from that. So they're always on the lookout for danger, for negativity, and that is still the case. We might think we have evolved and we're very sophisticated in 2020, but that brain is still as primitive and reactive as it was then. So if you want to change that, you have to continuously train it. Yeah. So you can't just say, oh, well, yeah, no, what can I do? Oh, there's lots of things I can do, and I do a bit and then it's over. It's like a supplement. So there are exercises and there are ideas that you need to apply every single day in order to get that mindset. Focus on the positive, focus on the supportive, focus on, I will get there. And there are lots of things lots of research. It's meditation is something. Acts of kindness is something, gratitude, just self-love. I'm coming back to my, you get the sense of where the core is for me, yeah? But it's that sort of practices. If people do that every single day, then they will develop that positive attitude and that supportive mindset.
So just got a question here from Helena. Why do they look for negativity?
Because it's familiarity. It's more effort to go for, to go through your exercise and your practices to get that positivity up. It's easier to be lazy and have the familiarity. And then you get the moaners. And then you get the people who are never getting anywhere, you know, that sort of thing. And you look at them and say, yeah, but you know what, you don't work it. You just don't, you choose not to spend your energy on that.
So what would you also advise someone who was struggling with a past experience that was blocking them and they're looking to overcome that past experience? And that could be a past relationship.
Get professional help. Again, get professional help, because if you talk about traumatic past experiences and you say, oh, I can talk to my family or my partner or my friends, they have an emotional investment in you. If you are upset about something and you tell them, they will be upset on your behalf. Yeah, and then they collude with you. So they are not the right people to help you through something like this. And again, it's like going to the doctor. The professional will have more tools, more insights, and will be able to help you where you want to be.
Yeah, that's totally true. It is. You know, I think it is as well the importance of making sure you find the right expert, because obviously.
Well, that's another thing, of course. But again, you can, if you've never done anything like that, how would you know you have the right person straight away? And life is a process. So maybe going to your first coach, have an experience, think, well, it didn't solve everything, is fine, because it will set you up for your next decision to choose someone who you might work with in a different way. You've learned from.
That's true. That's a good way to look at it. So you recently launched your book, From Victim to Victor.
Can I
Congratulations.
show it? Can I show it? Yeah?
Yes, sure. Congratulations.
Oh, man.
Can you tell us about the book and how is it helping people? Or how does it help people?
Well, my book, From Victim to Victor, is about narcissism. And, you know, the narcissists are coming out of the woodwork at the moment, it seems. Well, in my life, they are out around with my clients and everything. But that's maybe because I was focused on it. What I do in my book, I share my personal experiences. My mother is a narcissist. Our family was very dysfunctional. And actually, it took me till I was 58 years old to sort of really know what was going on and step away from that. And that's a long time. So part of my book is my personal story, so people can relate to situations. Then I explain more about a narcissistic relationship. And then there's a checklist with 50 traits. Now, if people have 40, 45 of those traits, they are definitely a narcissist. Yeah, but a lot of people will have some of those traits. And those traits are all around being selfish, about being manipulative, about being abusive, about being pushy. People who are really showing annoying behavior. And you know people like that. And I know people like that. Yeah. And if you then realize that difficult behavior, how that influences you and how that affects you, then the next chapter is all about how you can deal with that. So it helps people who are in a narcissistic environment and didn't understand it. And I have had feedback when people said, oh my God, I'm not alone. At last, someone is as if you're talking about me. And I thought I was the one who was going mad, but actually I'm not. There are way more people out there. So that's one thing, but also for people who have to deal with that challenging behavior, being bullied. The bully might not be a narcissist, but it's still not a positive experience. I mean, how do you deal with that? And the book gives hints and tips for all of that. So it's for quite a broad audience, I would say. I discover it's for a broader audience than I originally thought. Yeah.
Sounds really interesting. You know, I remember when you told me first time round, I was like, it sounds really interesting.
And I told you as well that, you know, I think the devil the dirt, and the beauty is in the detail. And if you are affected by someone, so I have here, these are exercises in my workbook. Yeah, you can get a workbook.
Ah,
can you see?
yeah.
And there it says, so this is someone who's highly reactive to criticism. And then it's like, but how really does that affect me? How does it affect my happiness? How do I get stressed? How do I feel? What do I think? Yeah, how do I act? And if you have an overview of that, then it's a very clear picture on how that person gets at you. But then also that's a really good handle on what you can change in order to change that whole dynamics.
So what would you advise someone who might be with a narcissist relationship? Like,
if you know you're in a narcissist relationship,
yeah,
run as fast as you can, as far away as you can. And yeah, and unfortunately for a lot of people that's not possible. Also, lots of people don't realize they're in a narcissistic relationship until they're way deep in it. So that's where the book will help as well. But yeah, disengage, take an emotional distance, because the narcissist will, it's like a spider. They sort of come, or an octopus, they come under your skin and they take over before you notice. So it's really important to keep an emotional disengagement. And then there are lots of more other little things, like don't tell them anything. It's called gray rocking. Fluff them up if you need to, and all that sort of things. But more of that in the book. Yeah.
Well, I definitely everyone to get the book. Like I said, to me it sounds really fascinating. So check it out. So Cosmopolitan magazine, they recently found that the number one reason for breakdown in relationships was communication. What advice would you give to couples out there who are struggling to build good communication channels in their relationships?
Okay, for a start, again, you need to know yourself. If you communicate in a relationship, you can only own what you are saying. It needs to be about you. So if you say, but you did this and you did that, you then get the argumentative area in, because it's easy to accuse people of wrong behavior, but that's not fair. What is fair is to open up and share how you feel about what is happening. And no one can be angry with that. If you say, I'm really, really upset about you being late because I was so looking forward to an evening together, what do? Yeah. So it's that. And also it's forget about an argument as a battle. Yeah. Communication is not a battle. It's not about getting it right. It's about how you get through this together. And maybe you can agree to disagree. It's fine. It's important to have space in a relationship to just be who you are. I always get a little bit itchy when people talk about, oh, we like cauliflower. Yeah, and we like to go to Spain on holiday. And I think we or you. So talking on behalf of somebody else, manipulating in the communication, that's just not fair either. Yeah.
So how would you advise someone then who is struggling to create an environment in their relationship where they can prioritize their own needs and be able to have like their me time, or be able to have their own self-care, but I find a lot of times in relationships people struggle with that concept, being able to communicate that in a way.
But Wahome, that comes back to self-respect. Because and self-value, if you value yourself, if you respect yourself, you respect your needs. And then that's a great position to start to negotiate. Yeah. I had my first baby James, and from the first weekend on a Saturday, I just had negotiated that I could go out for 2 hours to have coffee somewhere or meet someone, you know. And Ian had to agree with that, but because he was at work and I was at that time home with the baby, it was quite reasonable for me to spend 2 hours without a baby. And if you are in a loving relationship, then partners are willing to look at what you need as well as their own. And if you look after each other, then it's balancing it out as well. But I think that's where love comes in, and that's where trust comes in, and that's where respect comes in.
Yeah, I like that. Well, leads me on to my next question. So, in a recent survey of the British public, it found that 1 in 4 British people have admitted to cheating on a partner. 20% of men and 90% of women admit to cheating or having an affair. Why do you feel that so many people are struggling, like right now, to have the right intimacy or the right level of connection within relationships? And what advice would you give to people?
Oh man, well, fine. The first advice is like, what are you looking for that you don't have in your relationship? Yeah, but I mean, I'm not an expert in this. I haven't thought about it a lot, but I can imagine it's boredom, it's feeling ignored, it's FOMO, it's just curiosity. You know, but there are prices to pay for all that. So, but I wouldn't really. I don't think I have a lot more to say about it. I haven't really thought about it. I don't know.
Okay.
No. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Next question. What do you think are the most common reasons for people failing to create a life of meaning and purpose?
Well, if you want to have a life of meaning and purpose, you need to know yourself. I've got a program that's called Why Are You Here? And that is all about meaning and purpose. And it all starts with, who are you? What do you need in the first place to be that vibrant, giving individual? Because if you don't get your needs met, how can you give to others? Yeah, so that's the first thing. You need to know what makes your heart sing, and you need to make sure that you get that. And then the next step is how are you going to reach out with that? How are you going to use your positive energy to do what you're good at? And what are you good at? Yeah, not everybody has the same to offer. I mean, someone who cooks beautiful meals and makes people happy with food can find brilliant purpose. I like to make people think. I'm a thought provoker. I'm good at that, and I love doing that. Yeah, you have your particular thing. Everyone has their thing, but it's their thing. It's unique, and you need to put effort in it to find it. And actually, dare I say, maybe a coach. But you know, it's sort of, if you're not on that road yet, it requires a way of thinking. And I think maybe you agree with me that if you go through a process of coaching or therapy, you start to change the way you look at the world, and you start to change how you think. And it's that new way of thinking that gives the benefits and makes everything possible. This was Molly.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. I think what I also like to tell people is like they should be doing like regular human MOTs or lifestyle MOTs, where they, like with a car, you go and get your car checked out. You should do that with your like a lifestyle MOT regularly to see, like, are you meeting your needs? Are you hitting your targets? Are you happy? What are you not? Do you have a fear of missing out on things? And all this kind of like probably have like a look at review of your whole life style.
Yeah, and also because people have a tendency to avoid pain and look for pleasure. Now, one of the things that's pain and painful is is really analyzing where you are, because oh my goodness, something might come up that you don't like. So I sort of, people love to avoid that, and then almost automatically, and it takes longer and longer, and before they know, they're off the rails, off the rails for their own happiness. So that is I think that's a great idea.
So during difficult periods that we're experiencing now with COVID and the whole kind of racial equality things, like, I'm tending to find that a lot of people who are struggling with stay motivated. So what are your best tips that allow you to stay motivated during times like this, and what would you advise people who are struggling with motivation?
Focus on, maybe if this time is really difficult for you, focus on what is on the other end. Focus the new projects you could be doing. Get yourself fit and healthy so you're ready for that. So it's and then again, sort of keep your mindset in the right place through meditation, through learning new things, through communicating. Also, don't get engulfed in the negativity of this time, and maybe don't listen to the news where every day there's more dark messages about a dark future that's happening, and it's different every single day. It doesn't help. So I would say, take responsibility for what you can take responsibility for. So that's your own happiness and well-being. If you're with other people, you can take a responsibility to look after their diet, or God knows what it is. You like this, don't you? Gandhi saying, be the change you want to see in the world. Just do it. Take action. And also, realize that if you raise your vibration, we're all energy. People with a high vibration spread out that vibration to others. So even if the only thing you could do was keep yourself in a slightly better place than yesterday, you're doing something for other people.
Yeah, I totally agree there. I think what I hear as an undercurrent as well is discipline. I think is having that discipline to stay focused to what projects you're working on, to have that discipline to have a routine that whether you're meditating, yoga.
Do your meditations, do your your gratitude practice, just do your exercise. I love my exercise, and always when I've done my exercise, I just feel better for it. And it's the chemical reactions in your brain will make you feel better. And sometimes you think, oh, I don't feel like it, but actually don't go for that. No. I think the discipline thing is a really, really good. But if you have discipline and you do things automatically that are good for you, you don't have to think about it anymore. It doesn't cost energy then. So you can use that energy for something different, instead of renegotiating if you're going to do what you had decided was good for you. And then in the moment you think, well, maybe I'm too tired. Oh, well, maybe the weather is not what I want. No, don't do that. Just sorry, I'm saying it. Don't do this. Don't do it. I don't mean it like that. I just, it's so simple, but it's not easy.
Yeah, totally agree with you there. It does take it is challenging to have that discipline, and that's why I think accountability buddies, or people that you can have asked to hold you accountable, can really help.
If that works for you, then that's what you need to do. Yeah, and again, this is sort of, you don't have to do everything by yourself. If there are other people around who can help you, just ask. Yeah. See if you can create something. Molly, stop it.
Yeah, I like that. So are there any resources that you can recommend our viewers? Maybe 2 or 3 things that whether books or podcasts that you could recommend that would help people around narcissism, self-esteem, and mindset?
I love this. Feel the fear and do it anyway. You know, it's an oldie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit never, but I could say, well, I think my book could help.
Yeah.
I would say there are little booklets, sweet little booklets with gratitude practices every single day. You know, get yourself one of these nice booklets with little, whatever, butterflies on it or little flowers. So it's a pleasure to write in. Yeah, that sort of thing. And then yeah, meditate. I've got a free program, Mariette's 1 minute meditation, which is you get 10 downloads and you can choose for 1 minute and 3 minutes. And if you do that a few times a day, I've done some research and a survey, and it helps. It makes a huge change for people. So anyone who thinks that they would benefit from that, they can just, you know, sign up for that. And yeah, so it's that sort of thing. So we were talking about disciplines. I think creating habits, simple habits that don't take a long time, that I just, so when you say exercise, just do 10 stretches or 20 stretches. Yeah. If you talk about meditation, just do that 1 minute meditation. If you talk about gratitude, just write down three things. If you talk about journaling, one of these things, journal for 10 minutes. It doesn't need to be an hour. It's that sort of anything that is easy, anything that you can build into your life that really will tackle the negativity and the downward spiral, especially in times like this. Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, that's some good advice there. I like that. So we know what you're very good at. What's one activity or hobby in your personal life you're not very good at?
Oh, that's so mean. Oh, man. I am an absolute disaster in organizing my house, in cleaning and clearing is. And everybody has taken it on board as well. So in our house, you just step over what is on the floor. You know, I see in other people's houses that they pick it up and they put it somewhere, and we don't know where to put it, so we just leave it where it is. Not good, is it?
Well, I share your like. But for me, it's more DIY. I'm not a handyman.
No.
No.
Yeah.
I'd rather pay for someone to do it for me.
Yeah. Well, there you go, isn't it? Yeah. It's the thing is as well, I live in a house with, at the moment, with 3 men, 2 teenagers. And you know, if I leave a kitchen and it looks reasonable, I come back and it's as if a bombshell has gone off. And the boys think they live in fairy tale land, because they think that then they put a dirty plate somewhere in the kitchen and they come back 2 hours later and they open a cupboard. All of a sudden, all the plates are clean. How did that happen? That happened because I put them in the dishwasher. But so we're creating chaos for each other, I think. But yeah, I'm not good at that.
Okay, so 2 questions for you.
Uh-oh.
The first question is, what's next for you in terms of like what's coming up for you in terms of your practice? And the second one is, how can people reach out to work with you? Like what websites, what social media platforms are you on that people can then contact you to work with you?
Okay, Wahome. Well, my ambition is to be the go-to expert in narcissism. Yeah. And it's not necessarily about me, but it's so I can help a lot of people who can get quicker to a realization than I did. So that's so I will do talks. I do a lot of marketing for the book. I really wanted to spread that. I had it's going really well. So I know it's something that people need. And then, people can reach out to me. They can send me an email at mariette@drdistress.co.uk. They can go to my website, drdistress.co.uk. I'm on LinkedIn as Mariette Jensen Coaching. I'm on Instagram as Mariette_Jansen. I'm on Twitter. I'm not so active on Twitter. And I've got Dr. Distress Tips on Facebook. So I think Dr. Distress, like in DRDE and then stress, that will get you a fair amount. And if you want to have that, my 1 minute meditation program, just send me that email and it will be in your inbox straight away.
Thank you. Yeah, so I recommend anyone watching.
Oh, and what I forgot. So I connect with my clients every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. It's not just my clients. And I send an email with tips from the coaching couch. And it's just one topic. Again, it's simple, it's thought-provoking, it's helpful in most cases. Well, that's what it's aimed for. Yeah.
Well, everyone who's watching, who's want to watch this later, I definitely recommend that you reach out to Mariette to work with her. You'll get obviously lots of good value. And then the final question is, what's one final piece of advice you want to give people watching around narcissism and self-esteem?
If you know you're in the company of a narcissist, it's not your fault. They always try you to sort of point a finger at you and start to question yourself and your abilities and your way of thinking. It's not your fault. And I would say anyone who makes you think that a situation is your fault and they have nothing to do with it is unhealthy. Yeah, when more than one people are involved in a situation, everybody has their part to play.
That's good advice. I like that. It's very good advice.
Yeah.
Well, Mariette, it's been a pleasure interviewing you, and thank you for your time. We've had, you've given us lots of good, insightful tips on our narcissism. So I think that's going to be really beneficial for everyone who's watching this now, who's watch this later. So everyone else who's watching, there are going to be more business conversation interviews coming up tomorrow. So check those out. Otherwise, Mariette, we look forward to seeing you become the expert in narcissism. And wish you the best.
Spread the word. Okay, thanks for having me.
My pleasure. And have a good evening, and I'll speak to you soon.
Okay, bye.
Thanks very much. Bye.
Bye.